friends, welcome to my channel. Let's get crafting. For our supplies, we're going to be using 3 of these garden fences from the Dollar Tree and 2 of these flag poles, and we're going to be putting them all together to make a vintage fireplace screen, and it is going to be so pretty and such a huge statement piece for only $6. Now keep in mind, you can't use it in front of a fireplace for obvious reasons. There's plastic on these garden fences, but to put it up on a wall or put it up really high on your fireplace, on like your mantle, and layer it with some things, oh, it's going to be so pretty. Now I am going for a cottage farmhouse feel on this video, just like I did yesterday. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start cutting apart 2 of them. And we're going to take off the bottom stakes, we're going to cut off that middle bar you just saw me cutting, and we're going to cut off the tabs on the side that connect them together. Now the third one is a little bit different. You can see that I cut off the legs, you can see that I cut off the tabs on the sides, and then we're going to keep the bottom bar that's going across because we want it to look like it's the bottom of this big screen, and it's going to just look so perfect, these 3 nestling into the spots where we cut off on the bottom that was straight, because it looks like it's now purposely all just one big piece. So once you put glue in the middle in between them, you're going to then flip it over on the back side and add a lot of hot glue on the back side. Just make sure that it's, you know, nicely done as best as you can, but make sure you add your hot glue so that it's nice and secure and stays to place. But by the time we're all done putting everything together, this is a really secure piece that's not going to break and be flimsy on you, and it's just going to look so pretty somewhere decorated in your home. You'll see at the end I put mine behind a lamp just to show you the potential of what it's going to look like to add a little height to your wall in your room. It's going to look so pretty. So on the back side, I'm just adding some glue. There's these crevices that the glue allows it to go in there, and just really glue it together well. And then we're going to take our stakes for the flags, and we're going to break off that little supportive leg. You can see here that it was almost too big to fit on my craft table, but I made it work, and I had to zoom out so you're all looking at my great 1960 floor tiles in my basement, but you know, it is what it is. And eventually we're going to replace those, but for now, whatever. Okay, so we're going to now wire those garden flag poles onto our fence that we just made, and we're just going to go in through the little holes that are naturally there on these pieces, and we're going to just wire everything nice and secure together, flip it over, make sure everything is tucked down nicely, and then add some hot glue onto it to make sure that you don't see any little bumps or any wire pieces sticking out. You want everything to be twisted down nice and tight. Use some pliers if you need to get that secure part on there, and then make sure you do it on the other side as well. Wire everything together, twist it down nice and tight, and then hot glue it all together so it has a nice completed look, and that way it looks like it's one big thing that was welded together versus it being a project from the Dollar Tree, if you know what I mean. So once you've got all that done, you then can move on to the next part, which is going to be fancying it up a little at the top. I found this hanging wire rod thing in the dollar spot that has all their organization bins and things like that, and we're going to break off 3 of them. We're actually going to be using this for another DIY later in this video, so make sure you hold on to it still. And we're going to just take those and we're going to curl them down under. I'm sorry I kept going off screen. As I was going to curl, I kept pulling back in towards me to use my arm strength to turn them. But they break off really easy and they curl really easy. I just have weak arms. I always joke with my kids that I have T-Rex arms. Anyway, I am now going to just nestle them into the top. You can see that I tucked one under and one over, and I'm gluing them all into place. And then the next 2, I curled them down as well, and I'm making another look where it's coming up out, so it's got a very pretty ornate top. And I'm just going to glue them all together, wire them all together so they're nice and secure, and then I took it outside and spray painted the whole thing black on the front and the back. And then once it's all done, you can display it somewhere really pretty in your home for just $6. Today is a Friend Friday hop, and if you know how it works, there's that link down below in the description box. When you click on it, it'll take you to the next girl until you've circled all the way around through all of these channels of these beautiful, talented ladies here on YouTube. You will love them. Go tell them I sent you, say hi to them, subscribe to the ones that you like that are new to you, and just enjoy the hop, getting inspired going into the weekend. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It always means so much to me every time you all do. It really does help out my channel. And click the subscribe button if you are liking what you're seeing here on my channel. I do new DIYs every single week, lots of fun ideas for you all to try, and I typically use Dollar Tree supplies, so I love my local Dollar Trees. Our next DIY is going to be using this really cool tan tote bag from the Dollar Tree and a piece of scrap from your foam core board and past projects. So we're going to cut off the front of the bag and we're going to put it to the side. And if you saw my video from yesterday, you will know that I ended up using this fabric part for a different DIY. I'll link that video down below so you can see that. And it was just a super fun video. I'll also link it at the end of this video as well. But once you end up getting that front part cut off, you're then going to take your scissors or your rotary blade, whatever it is that you have on hand, and you're going to cut 3-inch strips. And that fourth one we're going to put to the side. We're going to use that later, but the 3 that we're going to be using that are 3 inches thick, we're going to glue them all together. And you can see here that I'm taking the foam core piece and I cut about a 3-inch circle as well. So just remember 3, 3, 3, 3 all the way across for all of them. And then with that fabric that we cut, we're going to glue the sides together and then fold it in half, gluing it so it looks like one long ribbon piece that has been sewn together, but we cheated and used some hot glue. Now I'm going to take the end and I'm going to fold it under. Any guesses what we're making so far? And then I'm going to just start pleating that onto the circle. I add a little hot glue, pull it back, put some hot glue under, and then I'm just going to keep pleating it back and forth, back and forth. I add a little hot glue under and on top, and then I pleat it. I add a little hot glue under and on top again, and then I pleat it again. And I just keep going until I follow all the way around the whole circle. So you can see I put it on the base, I put it on the top, and then I pleat back just like that. And then you're going to do it again. You're going to put some underneath to secure the bottom, and then put some hot glue right there on the top and pleat over, and then flatten it down so it looks nice and pretty, like it's been pleated, like it's a pretty silk ribbon. And you're just going to keep going all the way around the whole thing until you get to the end of the circle. Now when you get to the end, you're going to pull back the original pleat that you put down, and you're going to see here that I'm trying to figure it out. I wanted to make sure I showed you all how to do it right. You're going to take the very end and you're going to fold it under to create a nice finished look. So you see I folded it under. I'm going to add a little hot glue first. I'm going to fold it under just right here, and then I'm going to take it one more time, fold it one more time, and it should just nestle right down underneath. And then that original first pleat that you put down, you're going to tuck it underneath, so then it becomes one big perfect pleated circle all the way around. And then at the very end, I'm going to just add some hot glue to bring back down that first original pleat, and it's tucked underneath and nestled perfectly and created one giant circle. Now at this point, I'm sure you're all figuring out that I'm making an award ribbon prize. I have somewhere in my memory, in my head, when I was a kid, that I saw a wall that was loaded with these ribbons, and my husband was joking, the county fair. And I was like, maybe, but I don't think it was that. I think somewhere in my memory I knew someone who rode horses, and I cannot remember exactly who, but I thought it would be so cool to create a feature wall that has a ton of these ribbons all over it, and I'm going to be doing it in my summer Decorate With Me. I'm making a whole bunch of these with different fabrics and textures, and I'm going to create a really cool feature wall in my home somewhere. So stay tuned over on my home channel, because I cannot wait to show how these all turn out all as a collection decorated together. I just think They're so pretty. It kind of reminds me when you go into Anthropologie and you see those really cool feature walls. That's kind of what I want to do in my home decor for summertime. And I'm kind of going with like an equestrian feel inside of my home for summer. I know that's like the weirdest thing to say, but I am. So here I am, I've created a couple of tails for my ribbon. You saw that I used some silk ribbon, and then I used some leftover of that fabric, that piece that was the fourth piece. That's what I cut my tails for. And then I'm also using another circle. It's a little bit smaller. This one is a 2-inch circle wide, and I'm just going to glue the last of that fabric from the back of your bag. So you only need one bag to do this, and you're going to just pull it nice and tight and around and glue it all down and in place. And once everything is nice and tight and secure on the back side, you then can glue it right into the center. And when you put two of them together, already it looks like the prettiest thing ever to have decorated in your home. Now, a lot of people like to make big pieces for their decorations, but I want you all to see that just taking a lot of the same thing, but you know, a little bit different in texture, can make some really beautiful decor. And it looks like a collection. It looks like it's something that just would be really pretty to decorate with in your home. You don't always have to have a lot of really big pieces like the first one we did, where it was a big, you know, fence that you could put up on the wall. So here I am, I'm using a different ribbon this time. Instead of using a fabric, I'm using the burlap wire ribbon that they have at the Dollar Tree, following the exact same steps, and I'm just tucking it down and under. And this is the reason why I said that there are 4 projects in this video, because I want you to see that with different materials and different textures, it totally turns into a completely different look, and it looks so neat. And you're just basically repeating the steps, but creating a lot of texture and interest in your home decor. So here I am, I'm using burlap and some lace ribbon. This is all from the Dollar Tree, gluing it down, and it just looks so vintage chic. Like, I cannot stop talking about how excited I am about these ribbons. Maybe this isn't for you, but friends, I think this is the prettiest project ever, and I'm sure some of you out there will love it. So leave a comment down below if you like these ribbons or not, and that's totally fine if you don't. We'll still be friends, I promise, and my feelings won't get hurt. I'll just be the crazy lady who has a lot of ribbons on her wall in her house. So you can see here that I'm just taking a sticker, gluing it down, putting some paint, and then once that's dry, I'm going to put that on the front. And I just love that this one has a number on the front for first place. So once you've got them all done and decorated them, put them up somewhere to display in your home. Now, this is obviously my DIY channel, but if you didn't know, like I was saying, I'm going to be using those ribbons over on my Heidi Sonboul home channel. I started this channel 2 months ago, and thank you for all your help. I just found out that the channel is allowed to be monetized. I met my hours, and I'm so excited. Over on that channel, I have been doing all sorts of fun things with home repairs, remodels, cleaning, just all the fun stuff that you would do on a home channel. And you can see here, this is a video that I posted recently. It was our huge fixer-upper project, and it's a huge fun video to watch, to get inspiration, to make your house look updated. We did all of these projects in our home ourselves, and the transformation's huge. So if you want to see the video, I'll link it down below so that you can go over and see it. Our next project we're going to be doing is using these 3 items. Now remember that wire rack we used at the beginning? We're going to be using that again. We're using the side very end hooks, and we're going to be turning this into a little award trophy. I thought I would keep going with the theme of the award ribbons, and again, I really love that cottage equestrian farmhouse feel. I just think it is so pretty. Maybe it's because I like the movie There's Something to Talk About. Let's give them something to talk about. I can't remember, but the girl in the movie, her parents, you know, I think it's Julia Roberts. Her parents are horse breeders, and anyway, I just think it's like so pretty, that type of cottage farmhouse feel, and I always like associate it with horses and equestrians, and anyway, that's just me. So we're going to be making a really pretty metal award and be able to turn just 3 simple products from the Dollar Tree into something. I've never seen anybody do this, so I thought this would be fun and different for all of you to see. Now you can see here I've glued on that glass base to the container, and then I took those 2 wires, popped them off, and curved them to make them look like the handles. And now at this point I'm getting a image of a horse on my phone, and I'm holding it on the inside, and I am using some puffy paint to create, you can see that my phone flipped and I had to redo that part. I'm using it as an image template to just create a horse on it using puffy paint. Now I will have a couple of tips about this. It actually turned out really cool, and I had my horse turn out just the way I needed it to. And you can see here that I just outlined the horse on my phone, and now I'm filling it in with the puffy paints. Make sure you keep tapping down to keep the air out of the tip, the nozzle. And then I'm adding on 1974 because that's my husband's birthday. And then I'm going to go around the sides with some little dots. So I just took my time with this part. I thought this was really cool, but this is the tip. I have not worked with silver spray paint in the longest time, and I was doing it at night, and that was the biggest mistake ever because I could not see that it was covering my horse properly, and so for whatever reason it was like really gooping up around the horse. And had I gone over with some really gentle sprays with the silver, the horse would have showed up perfectly because it's got that raised surface. So unfortunately the horse at the end kind of got lost because of the way I was spray painting. It was my fault. It was a goofy thing that I did, but here is the finished look, and I just think it is so cool. You can still see the bumps that are there. I wish the horse had turned out, but again, the spray paint just was, it was my fault. I put too much spray paint all over it. And then I went back in with some brown paint and I distressed it to make it look really old, and I love how it turned out. So here is my little trophy, my award ribbons, and then the garden fence. And if you're interested in that video, I'm going to link it here at the end from yesterday. I'll also link this one here where we did the before and after, fix it up for our home. And if you try any of these projects or any other ones, or you just want to see what's going on in my craft room away from this video, make sure you head over to Instagram and say hi to me there. And don't forget to hop to the girl in the next hop. Thanks so much for coming by and watching this video today. And until the next one, bye friends.